Hello, my fellow thrill seekers and spooky enthusiasts. My name is David, and I'm so happy to share our Spooktacular Hangout special to get you into the Halloween spirit. Enjoy my creepy, curated collection of unforgettable encounters, past and present, with the stars of the horror and thriller genre.
It's a feeling, it's things that happen and you don't have an explanation.
The special effects makeup was creepy. It was quite revolting.
First up, we've got a killer duo from the new spin-off series The Walking Dead: Dead City, Lauren Cohen and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Take a look.
Those initial 2 nights of filming the introduction of Negan, and not everybody knows the story, but there was a lot of leaks going on with The Walking Dead, and it was also top secret at that time that I ended up killing every character that was in the lineup. And so Lauren was one of them that I bashed in the head and had her head explode, and they actually edited a scene. I edited an episode with her being the person I killed to find out who was leaking the episode. So we filmed an episode that never has been seen by anyone, with Maggie being Negan's first victim.
Both you and your mother have left an indelible impact on the horror genre. How do you feel about that legacy?
My mom's been gone a long time now, and back in 1978, when they hired me to be Laurie Strode, I was 19. I was just really starting out as an actress. So it's an honor for me. I'm highly aware of the beautiful linkage with my mom and proud of it.
Do you see a lot of overlap in terms of fans of the Housewives franchise and then also fans of Halloween?
I do now, and the fan base used to be, was always very different, different demographic, and now these guys will come up and they look like these tough guys. I'm like, oh, that's a Halloween fan. They'll be like, I love the Housewives. My wife makes me watch. So it's a little bit of, it's a mixture now.
That's actually phenomenal. I mean, it just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly, you never know.
I naturally do like darker things. I love things like horror. I like things that are really gruesome. I'm just naturally really into that stuff. So I feel like there's moments in the show where we would have discussions on set where I was trying to push things further, play with things, a little bit more. So I see a lot of myself in her in that aspect. And that was really warm and fuzzy for me.
Are either of you familiar with this phenomenon called frogging?
People stay in your house, right?
Yeah, someone's hiding inside of your house while you're living there, but you have no idea that it's happening.
Yeah, I have heard of that.
Where's this being done?
in a lot of places, apparently. It's terrifying. So I got a lot of those vibes from this movie, and I was just like, oh, now I need to check every room in my house, make sure that there's no crazy lady hanging out, just like...
I mean, there's a word for that. I thought it was just like squatters, like squatting.
No, these are people that generally have other types of intentions as well. So
honestly, the flat that I live in I live in London and I live in the tiniest little flat ever. So I feel like it would be very hard to frog my flat. Like
Don't challenge anyone.
Right.
I'm always intrigued by the supernatural, and sometimes things happen and you just go, my God, that couldn't have been a coincidence, or something is some kind of something, and you can't put your finger on it. And I go to all those when I'm in New Orleans too. I love going into stores, and I love tarot card reading, and I'm always looking for magic. But I don't know exactly how to define it. I guess that's what magic is. You can't see it. It's a feeling. It's things that happen and you don't have an explanation.
I think we all, at some point in our lives, pretended to be a vampire biting someone's neck. And I was curious. I'm curious how you prepared to actually sink your teeth into those moments on screen.
You meet someone,
and then you go bite
that
them.
day, and then you can't bite them. You can taste their sweat.
Yeah, it's a lot more intimate than a sex scene. I think doing it, it's quite an extreme thing to do.
Yeah,
and Anne Rice does talk about it these epic sort of draws that they take. So it was sort of making sure that translated as well. There was a fair amount of thought that went into it.
first off, you get very up close with some of the infected creatures in The Last of Us. And I wondered how unsettling that experience was, even knowing you're playing a role in a TV show.
I mean, like the special effects makeup was just so incredibly brilliant. And then the actors playing the clickers, that's like they had worked so hard on all of their like motion and movement, and all their like all of the sounds, like all the click was all like happening. And so it was creepy, like it was quite revolting. And then it would stop, and then this poor guy would be like, oh, and you're like, I can't look at you. Like I can't. It's creepy.
Do you remember we did the VR Stranger Things horror game where like we had to walk to the phone at the end of the virus hallway and there's a big Demogorgon jump scare?
Yeah.
Like season 2 or something?
That was season 1.
That was season 1?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous and I never want to do it again.
I know actors often have to conquer fears or step out of their comfort zones to film horror films or shows. What did you have to overcome for this series?
There was a very intimate relationship with worms, obviously. That's the first thing that comes to mind. I see things that aren't real. We, of course, use real worms, and I've had to bathe with them and I opted to have real worms inserted into my nose, and there were all those things. Those were tangible things that I definitely had to overcome, but it's very spooky. I have some weird perverse pleasure in enduring that to share that with the audience and make it feel real and compelling.
It's very effective. Like I can say that after watching it. I hope you enjoyed this collection of spooktacular moments and terrifying tales. If you're dying for more, you can catch the full interviews with everyone you saw today right here on Xfinity platforms. Until we meet again, stay spooky.